Hello guys, my name is Kati Tandal and I'm going to discuss all about parts of the story. So let's start, shall we? So number one, we have the parts of the story. We have number one, plot. So the plot where it is the framework or skeleton of a sequence of events that are linked together. So under plot, we have Gustav's Freytag, and unfortunately, I'm not going to discuss it to you, but it will be discussed by my partner later. So, under it, we have exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and the denouement. So, let's proceed to number two. So, number two, we have characters. Yes. In every story, in a certain story, there must be a character or characters. So, and these characters are classified into two. We have the dynamic and static. So, if we say dynamic, this character, so a dynamic character changes as the result of the action, and the static cannot. So, we have types of characters. We have number one is the protagonist, where it is known as the main character of the story. And number two is the antagonist. It is the force that against the main character or the protagonist. So the third one, we have the minor characters. So minor characters are known to have play a minor role within the story. So we'll go to number three. We have conflict. So the conflict is the struggle between two or more characters in a short story. So this is where protagonist and the antagonist clashes together. So it's now have the result of conflict. So there are two general types of conflict. We have the external conflict and the internal conflict. So in external conflict, under it we have three. So number one is man versus man. A character struggles with another character. So normally this is the clash between the protagonist and the antagonist. So number two, we have the man versus nature. So man struggles in the force of nature. So for example, thunderstorms or natural disasters or animals or etc. So we have number three, the man versus society. So a character struggles between the society itself. So the people who live in a certain community. So number two, we have the internal conflict. Internal conflict, under it we have the man versus himself. So in man versus himself, the character struggle takes place in his or her own mind. For example, if a certain character will go to left side or the positive side. Yes. So we have number four, we have the setting. Setting answers the question when and where. So the setting is usually where the event happened in a certain story. So where and when the event happened in a certain story. So we have, so I go to number five, where is the point of view. So the point of view is the direction from which the writer has chosen to tell the story. So under it we have three types of POVs. The first one is the first person, where one of the characters tells the story and talks directly to the reader. And number two, we have the third person limited. So the narrator centers one thoughts or feelings of just one character in a story. So and number three, we have the third one is the third person omniscient. So it is called the all-knowing point of view, where the writer, he or she, knows all about the feelings and thoughts of all the characters. So the last one we have theme for the last one. So the theme is the central belief or idea in a short story. Like for example, in Iliad and Odyssey. So in the Iliad we have its theme was the will of the gods, and the Odyssey is the wrath of gods. That's two examples of the theme. So that's all my report. I hope you learn just even a little and you enjoy this video. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Mirna Sakasan and I'm going to present to you the 5 elements of plot structure. So I have here the diagram of Gustav Freytag. So first, we have the exposition. So in exposition, it is where the characters and setting are established. During this part also, the conflict or the main or the problem of the story are presented. So the second element is the rising action. So rising action is where the struggle grows stronger. So in this part of the story, the main character experiences crisis. So this is the place of excitement or tension. The third one is the climax. The climax is the high point of the story. It is the main event or danger that the character faces. It is the darkest moment or the worst challenge of the character must oppose. Fourth is the falling action. So in falling action, the story begins to slowly went down. Falling action shows the result of the actions or decisions that the character has made. The last one is the resolution. So in resolution, or what we call the denouement or the conclusion of the story. So here, the conflicts are resolved, all loose ends are tied up, and the story concludes with either the happy ending or sad story. So I hope that you've learned even a little of my presentation. So thank you.